Hello there. Sex as a need, the hormonal nuance. So today I am following up on uh, a video that I did, I don't know, I think about 10 days ago about sex as a need. And I'm just going to share this to my group. So give me just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. Yep, we're getting close. Yep. Okay, here we go. So last time I spoke about this topic, I spoke about whether sex is a need in the context of what you really want to experience in this earth plane, in this beautiful life that you call your own. I hope you call your own. Or perhaps you call it God's life through you. I don't know. Anyway, one of the biggest, a big topic, a big issue that can come up in relationship is physical intimacy. And do partners fulfill each other's desires in that domain? And it goes both ways. A partner might want more, and a partner might want more space. And how do you navigate that? So hopefully, I mean, what I seek to do myself and what I seek to help people do is to navigate that domain with flow and grace, and how to feel the dance that unites you with your partner in a harmonious way, rather than get kind of stuck in your corners of how you see it, how you feel it, and how your partner is not working with what feels natural to you, right? So if you haven't seen my video before, I suggest going to check it out. And maybe I can manage to put the link below just to make it easy for you. But I had a conversation with someone last week, a very intelligent, well-spoken, and I would say well-rounded in personal development young man who wanted to share with me an experience that he had because it was insightful and relevant. And I'm not going to tell his story because that's for him to tell, but what he ultimately shared with me was a personal experience about how he was following a feeling to connect with a woman, and he checked himself after a few minutes and realized that what was motivating that movement, and he realized that it was actually a hormonal motivation. And I'm familiar with my own hormonal motivations. Not so I can't speak from my own experience about the full range of what's possible, but I know that from my experiences of a certain instances of PMS in my history, that hormones can definitely take over your mind. And you typically, my experience is that, I didn't actually know that hormones were taking over my mind until a little bit of time into the experience. And I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't adding up. And on the other hand, I have met people. Okay, so first let me say, even though, right, PMS could take over my mind, doesn't happen so much these days. But in earlier years in my life, I had instances where a PMS would make me really sensitive. It would make me have a really short fuse. And I didn't want to treat people from that hormonal place or mistreat people, as the case may be. And I certainly don't want to be my hormones. I am a soul. I am a spiritual being. I am, which doesn't mean that I don't have a physical aspect. Of course, we're here on Earth for the full range of experience. However, I think there's two ways to go about the full range of experience, or certain areas of experience. We could go about experiencing our hormones as though we are our hormones, or as though we are a physical animal creature just acting out whatever our hormones tell us to do, which doesn't actually sound that interesting to me. Or we could be a well-rounded soul, meaning this essence of consciousness that is not physical and yet experiences through the physical, but experiences more than just through the physical, also experiences through, I'll say the mental and the emotional, which is going to be part of the physical experience too, but also through the spiritual. If you attune your senses, your intuitive senses, and your inner awareness that can connect with divine love. So holy macaroo, that is an extremely multidimensional, well-rounded experience of self. And that's more interesting to me than to experience the, for instance, hormonal range of experience as though I am being, dragged by the collar or dragged by the brain through the hormones. So, but what was really interesting, and this is absolutely true, that this gentleman pointed out, is that we do actually need to have an awareness about how hormones work in order to be able to spot when hormones are working on us and to make a more well-rounded choice about how we want to be in that situation. So for my experience, I haven't really had a hormonal urge that moved me towards physical intimacy with a person. For me, that's always been more of I will say, an etheric experience, meaning it's more about energy and emotion and connection in the non-tangible and non-biological realm. And that gets my biology on board, right? So that's pretty simple for me to sort out. If you do have a hormonal influence, I can see, based on my experiences of PMS, it will take some self-reflection to get a handle on that if you want to have the multidimensional experience of self that I was describing. I think of our experience here with this body, kind of like, in this moment, what occurs to me is a bit like Star Trek. Like, if our body is the Starship Enterprise, our vessel for being here in the physical experience, which includes mental and emotional, is this like amazing machine, like the Starship Enterprise. So the question is, like, do you want to be the captain of the ship? Or do you want the ship to be on autopilot, going wherever autopilot thinks it should go? And I would definitely rather be the captain of the ship. And I want to feel all that mental information, that emotional information, that hormonal information. I mean, the information systems flow both ways. The soul sits between heaven and earth, between the physical domain and everything that goes with that, and the spiritual domain. And when we develop our listening senses so we can hear both ways at the same time, then we've got so much information to integrate. And that's how we make a beautiful life, because the spiritual brings how we harmonize and how we express with deep, genuine purpose, heartfelt, love, inspired purpose. And that brings meaning to the physical. So to act out what hormones say without that integration with the spiritual is, I don't know, seems kind of boring and meaningless to me. However, I understand that that is something for us to grow in awareness in order to have the multidimensional experience we want. So I'm curious, I've been talking here for a few minutes, and you know what I prefer. What do you prefer? Do you prefer to just surrender to the pleasure of life as a passenger in your Starship Enterprise with the autopilot? Like, in other words, like if autopilot, if your physical hormones or the sensations in life, and I'm not saying this is bad, okay? This is a way someone could want to go about life, and I'm going to paint it in the most a beautiful way that I can imagine it would be. Like when you play Pandora, I don't know if you've played Pandora radio. You get to choose kind of like the flavor of the radio, like the tunes that play on that station. But there's still this element of surprise because Pandora is the one choosing the next song and choosing the next song. And then you get to say, oh, that's a delight. Oh, I don't really like that song. So that could be a way that going about life with the autopilot in charge, your hormones in charge, your sensations in charge, whatever is coming at you, and not trying to actually be the master of yourself, but rather just going for the ride because it's fun, right? Is that something is that you, the way you like to go about life? Like, if that's you, then put #pleasure in the comments. And then the other option, which I personally find to be more fun, a lot more fun, is, do you feel passionate about mastering your sense of self, that you want to be the captain of the Starship Enterprise, not to run the ship with a white knuckle grip out of control or anything like that, but to actually be the vessel that's integrating heaven and earth so that you can hold this poise and bring through a meaningful experience, a love with a capital L, God-infused experience in everything that you do, in the way that you choose your dinner, in the way that you choose company, and the way that you hang out with company, the way that you experience physical intimacy. If you want all of that to be God-infused, and because you have that passion, you choose the path of self-mastery so that you can be the captain of the ship, you can bring through that integrated experience. Then put, what should we choose for that one? #inspired. If that's your passion for how to go about life, then put #inspired in the comments. And as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to put #inspired in the comments for myself, because that's what I like. All right, I can't wait to hear which way you like to go about it. And both ways are totally fine. And if there's another option you want to describe in the comments, go right ahead. Alrighty, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.